It's the 15th anniversary of the US-led invasion of Iraq. Back in March 2003, former US President George W. Bush ordered the military campaign.
At this hour, American and coalition forces are in the early stages of military operations to disarm Iraq, to free its people, and to defend the world from grave danger.
He described the devastating onslaught as the central front in his so-called war on terror. The United States claimed it wanted to destroy former Iraqi dictator Saddam Hussein's stockpile of weapons of mass destruction. But such weapons were never found in Iraq. The war destroyed a large part of Iraq's infrastructure and left a trail of death and destruction there. The security vacuum and lack of planning after the invasion and ouster of Saddam triggered years of deadly violence. The chaotic situation also gave rise to monster terror groups, which Iraq is still struggling to wipe out.
Yes, in the 15 years since the invasion of Iraq, we've decimated the country economically and culturally. We took what was a tribal society and we tried to impose Jeffersonian democracy on them, which was a terrible failure. And since then we've fed into extremism of all kinds on both sides of the fight, and that's resulted in the creation of ISIS. It's resulted in a huge diaspora of people going into Syria and then being disenfranchised there as well.
The main victim of US-led invasion in 2003 and the insecurity in the following years have been Iraqi civilians. America's military has defiantly refused to keep a tally of Iraqi deaths since it led to the bloody invasion. Many believe hundreds of thousands of Iraqis have been killed since that year. But some sources have provided catastrophic estimates. According to some calculations, the US-led invasion and the insecurity and terrorism that have plagued Iraq as a result have left well over 2 million Iraqis dead. The number is still going up as the Iraqi government is still struggling to restore security to some parts of the country.
It has spread fanaticism, and so 15 years later, the only thing that we can say is that the world is not a better place because of the United States' actions in Iraq.
The US-led war in Iraq was a classic example of America's military interventions. The United States has attacked many countries around the world in the name of fighting terrorism or deposing dictators. But its interventions have mostly backfired, with targeted countries becoming much more insecure. There seems to be no end to America's wars around the world. Over the past 2 decades, the United States and its allies have attacked Afghanistan, Iraq, and Libya. In all those wars, the United States has been widely criticized for lacking a clear strategy. The 3 countries are today described as failed states. Each US war has proved to have grave security and economic consequences for the target country and its neighbors. But the United States never learns a lesson. It is now threatening to take military action against the government in war-ravaged Syria. Observers believe America's interventionism and militarism around the world have seriously undermined global security.